Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on the channel. You're joining me today for episode number 19 of the East Yorkshire playthrough. Now, in today's episode, what I want to get into is supplying Ghoul with all of its cargo demands. And we may look at also getting Beverly hooked up, simply because these guys have exactly the same demands. You see here, Ghoul's demanding food and construction materials, and also Beverly. I've been having a quick look at the map and thinking of the best way to do this. We only actually have two construction materials factories. We've got one over here in Pocklington, and then we've also got the one up here by Barton on Humber. I think what I don't want to have is the materials coming across the map here, if we can help it, and across all this existing line. So I think because all of the stone that we have available is all up at this northern tip of the map. I mean, we've got one stone quarry here right by this port, and we've also got another stone quarry just over in the middle by this fuel line. So I think we've got two options really. We can either have some stone trains going down and bypassing this oil refinery here and then onto the construction materials plant, or we can ship it in from the dock over here. Now, I think what I want to do is go for the shipping option, simply because this old disused I want to call it a platform, but it's a dock, isn't it? From this dock here that we're not using anymore, we're already connected into the stone. So all we need to do to get that hooked up and get construction materials being made is stick a cargo dock in down here. So I think that's where we're going to start off. We do want a large dock, and we only need one port. So if we can get this in where it already connects, which we can, perfect. We can stick that in there, and straight away now, we want to go for the fastest ships we can, which will be the Merlins here at 20 miles per hour. Can carry both stone and construction materials, and it's going to be a fair old way here, but they are carrying 252. I think we'll go for 3 ships there to start with. We're going to want a new line coming from the other terminal at the top here. Hopefully that's picked the right one. I'm not sure what terminal. It looks like it's got the little green line there. We want to wait for a full load, and then we want to drop that off down at the construction materials plant. Now that's going to be SF for sea freight. We'll call that Barton Conmat for construction materials. I just want to make sure that is in the right terminal. It is. It's not going to affect our oil business. So hopefully they'll all start coming out of the hub down here, which they are. We'll speed that up a bit to get those guys going. They should automatically start getting stone, which that's already started filling up on the platform, so that's brilliant. But what we need to do is have an export now. Now, in terms of Beverly, we could stick a cargo hub here and use lorries to bring it across. But I think because we need to get food in, we have got a food hub here, but where could we get grain from? Is grain just the other side of Beverly here, or does grain this side? Well, there's grain here, and because we need to take it south, this one's kind of central, so I think I want to use this food processing plant. We need to get some grain to here, so have we got any grain farms? Again, I don't really want to come across, be cutting across the map here. Such, I mean, it's relatively flat. We could go ships. I think I'm going to go ships again here, actually. If we go for a large dock on this side of the river, just to the side of those trees, and we're going to want one by the food processing plant just over this side. I don't like that. What that's doing to the land there, though. We might have to do some work on that. Let's see if we can just flatten this off a little bit. Just take the edge off, see how much of a difference that makes. I think that's made it worse, if anything. If we come out a bit into the road there, and then we put a road on, how does that look? It's a bit steep still, isn't it? That we flatten that out. We can flatten that out. And then try and get a road. We can go for a curved road. Just up the hill. Or if we put a straight one down the side here, does that have connections still? It looks like it will give us some connections there. There we go. And then we can get a curved road down to here. That's much better. That's nowhere near as offensive as it was originally. That should now connect, which it does. But then we need to connect this end up to the farm. And I think here we're going to be better off doing this by road as well. Not going to... Oh, that is just a painted field, actually, but I do like it. I don't want to destroy that field, so I think we'll skirt around the outside of this. Come back into the main road. There we go. And then we'll upgrade this road, just so none of the vehicles are going to be getting slowed down. And we are going to have a truck line down here dropping this off. And I think I'll just pop it on the end so they're not slowing down too much, actually. I mean, we could just go with a truck stop, actually. There's no reason why we don't do that. We're not going to be bringing anything back, are we? And up here, we only need one platform. We'll go on the right-hand side. If I pop one on the junction here, is that in range? It is. Perfect. We'll go for 30 metres. And that just fits nicely on that crossroads. We'll need a road depot, which can just sit out here. We're out in the middle of sticks, so that's not an issue. Now we'll need some trucks, and we want to be carrying grain. So, what do we need? We don't need anything drastic here. I don't know if we need this kind of capacity. I don't really like having the box wagons for everything. Obviously, these are the most efficient. I like seeing the cargo in the background. These guys still go at 50 miles an hour. I'm going to go for some of these small guys, I think. We might have to change this depending on how well they do the job. But we want a new line from the farm where we want to wait for a full load of grain. We want to drop that down at the dock. And that is going to be RF for road freight. And then we'll call this Allaby grain, because we are just outside the town of Allaby. But then before that we'll start actually moving anything, we are going to need some more ships. And we'll go with probably 2 of those because of the distance. And we're going from this new port down to the food processing plant there. And that is going to be SF. And this is Barton Food Processing. Let me know, guys. I'm always interested in different ways people use to name the lines. Now, I got this original way from a YouTuber called Skystorm. I started watching when I first learned how to play the game. And it's helped me all the way through. And he's a really good YouTuber, by the way. I do recommend his Transport Fever 2 series, if anybody's interested in watching any other content. It is a couple of years old now, but it's where I first saw the series. He did a European series. It was really good. Right, so where are we? So we've now got food being produced and construction materials being produced. So we should have, as long as this farm's now picked up the consumers. Barton upon Humber Food Process Plant. It has picked up that we can now make food there. But at the moment, we're not delivering it anywhere. So what I want to do now is hook up a train line from here all the way down. And that train line's going to take food and construction materials. So we're going to need to bring that food across the river. I'm just wondering whether it's worth, on this route, after Barton upon Humber, I'm going to make sure it does this right. I want it to load some food and unload the grain there. And then I want it to go here and just unload food. And at the first one, just so there's nothing contradicts that. He's going to bring some grain down here. He's going to unload the grain and load food and bring food over here. Okay. And then here we're already unloading the stone. I don't mind, because there's only 4 ships on the 2 lines, I don't mind them sharing the dock here. But what I do want it to do now is get this train in. So we want a freight. It can be terminal. We want high speed. It can be a terminus even. And we'll go terminus, but I think I'll edit this afterwards just because. Or will we? Well, that can see, yeah, that won't connect there, but we can just have it as an offshoot on a road. I don't mind doing that. If we go for the street and we want this country road, I think we'd better upgrade this just to sort of get with the times a little bit more, to be honest. Get rid of this dirt road. There we go. That's gone all the way into the city street now. So what we want to do is just pass the front, maybe a curved road, just round. There we go. That guy should now definitely connect, which he does. Did we make that guy long enough, do we think? 160. I'm actually going to change my mind there. And I'm going to go for a 240. Just because I do want it that little bit bigger to make sure it's long enough for us to get food. Is that because the autosave hasn't placed that? Yeah. Just because we do want it to get food on, as well as construction materials. Now, actually, I don't want that to have catenaries. I want to do this as a diesel run. So we want high speed, but no catenary. Perfect. There we go. Only because I think we're going to have to tee into the wooden lumber line that's already down the bottom end there. And that, I'm 99% sure, is diesel. And it hasn't got electrification. So I don't want to start running electric trains down there even and having to change all of that line as well. It's actually a lot hillier than I thought, this area. No. I don't want that to be doing that. What I will do, delete all this, and then I'm going to put a piece of track in at this flat area here. And then I want to connect that in to here and see what it does. It is trying to tunnel, but only through there. Do I delete that piece of road? I think I do, you know. I think we delete that. Then we bring this guy around. Connect him in. It's giving us that tunnel, which I don't mind at all out at the edge of the map here. It keeps us nice and flat and level while the trains are full heading down this way. Contouring down here. We've got a little bit of a dip that we may need to bridge over here, actually. Still running pretty flat here. Now, where are we aiming for? I want to go into Goole. Actually, these train lines are the opposite way around from each other, aren't they? Thinking about it, whereabouts in Goole do we need these materials? The bricks need to go. So we need to come into this front corner here. So let's have a look at where we could put the terminus station. Thinking if we plug it straight in here, we'll probably get demand straight away. We do connect to some of it there, but that's going to require a bridge straight out the station, I think. Are we opposed to a bridge straight out the station? I think I'd rather a small tunnel. We can tunnel under there. Tunnel around and up. Yeah, I'll take that. That's not offensive. And then we'll come across to 186 at full speed here. It looks like we're going to have to cut this guy back and sort of rejig the angle for this. We're heading in the right direction now. We are there, I believe. If we go to about here, it should give us a nice distance to get the bridge up in it. I mean, we could. This is the edge of the map. We could go up and straight, but I think that we don't really need to allow enough room for boats to go under. But I think it's the right thing to do. I think in real life you wouldn't have a bridge that was too low for boats to go under. Now, what I think I'll do. Are we just going to run one? I think we are only going to run one train on it. We only need single track. We are only delivering to the one town. But we are going to have to set up a little bit of a route down here. We're going to need a truck stop. So if I put this as 20 metre, we go this side next to the station. I think we do. I'm going to go 2 platforms here just for the future because at the minute we're covering enough food and I'm happy with that. We are going to need a truck stop for the bricks over that end, just so that covers all of that combat. I think for the minute, or do we go for it? You know what? Why not? Let's go for it and put a drop off for food as well. If we're going to do it, let's do it properly. I think that's the best way to deal with it. So now on this line, we are going to need a train depot, aren't we? That's one thing I did forget about. We need somewhere where it's nice and flat, which looks like there's a little section in there that we could sort of plug into, I believe. We can get this linked in, which we can. Perfect. We'll have one signal on the end, which is the only signal needed on this line, actually. And now we want to go diesel. Let's have a look at what we need, first of all, for carriages. Food, we need these box cars. For construction materials, we need steak. Okay, so they both go 99 miles an hour. Do we really need to go 99 miles an hour on this run? We could go at 75. You know what, guys? Money's no issue, is it? So let's play with some of the bigger trains. There we go. I think that's the best bet for us. So we want to go from Barton upon Humber. I am going to tell that to wait for a full load as well. Not sure if you guys are aware, but trains as the waiting, they still cost you money and maintenance costs, but it's less than when they're actually running. It's better to leave them wait for a full load if you can. We want TF. I'm just going to call this Google delivery. We'll call it what it is, I suppose. Food/Conmat delivery. We may need to let that run once out of the station if it's already in. It is. Let's have a quick look at this train actually. If we go on normal speed, I've not seen this one before. I like how all the modern trains now have the route name on the front. Oh, and he's already got some construction materials on. Perfect. It's a little bit basic, this train, isn't it? No company logos or anything like that. But we've got a little what are they called on the front? The little cattle scoop things. Looks like almost a bit of a snowplow. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I do like that. So the proof in the pudding even will be if this guy figures out that it can get Gould as a consumer, and we should start seeing some food getting brought down to Gould. I'm going to hit fast forward here. Hopefully we do need to put on actually these routes, don't we? Let's have a look at it. We'll put that in the commercial area down here. We need to put the routes in for the construction materials, definitely. We're going to go small here again. I think we are. We'll go for 3 for construction materials. We want a new line going from here to the construction material drop-off. And at Gould Exchange, we want to wait for the full load. And that is going to be RF for road freight. That's going to be Gould Combat. And then on this guy, we want drop food off. We'll go 3 again. Because some of these buildings are already being covered by the train station themselves, aren't they? So it doesn't really matter. We're not delivering the full load via truck here. BF, and that is all food. I think that works best. I mean, it should have already been picking up the food demand, I believe, just because, yeah, the station's definitely in range of some of the buildings demanding food. It might have just been taking a second to kick in. We have a look again. The consumers aren't there just yet. I'm wondering whether I messed this line up when I did it. So at Allaby Port, which is at the top, we just want to load grain. Barton upon Humber Halt, we want to unload grain and load food. Barton upon Humber Port, which I've just deleted by accident. All we want to do there is unload food. We'll never know if it was already set up right or not now. But it should drop off food. The only thing I can think is this not in range of the station? It isn't. That's the bit that we were missing. Okay, so if I put a line or a road in even just down here, and then we connect into the port there. Is that picking up the train station? It is now. So now, cool, there we go. Now we're getting food waiting on this side of the dock as well. Perfect. That guy's coming back with fuel. Ship's full and is on his way. There's still 42 waiting. Where's the next grain ship coming back? That is this guy here. So he's going to come back and wait it again. I'm just wondering why he's only half and half here. Did he not fill up on the first time? Maybe he didn't. For some reason he filled up one of his compartments a little bit, but not all of it. Do they have a maximum waiting time? I didn't tell them. There we go. There's always something, and it's normally the fact that I've done something wrong. But this guy will now wait for a full load, which should help those two boats space out a little bit as well. It looks like we do need a few more vehicles on here as well. We'll get those going. We've got another load coming down here. That's waiting. This guy isn't going to go anywhere until it's full. But now we know that we've got everything moving. There's no reason why it shouldn't get the food down there. And then I think, guys, the next thing for us to tackle is getting everything into Beverley. So we're now making both construction materials and food here. And whereabouts in Beverley do they need the bits? It's all at this back end of the city, so I don't want to come in via sea. We need to come in from this direction, really, which, just because of how close this is, I'm tempted to just do this as a road route. And do this with trucks. And then do we go from this side of the river? Or do we put a little bridge in over here? We bridge across. I think bridging across is the idea to go for. If I can get a nice looking bridge. We need to go, I think, tunnel under the rail here and then bridge over to the other side. I think if we come from about here across and we make it look nice, we can sort of mirror the bridge further down. Boats going through there, which is ideal. We pull in sort of close to there. I think that's about what we're after. We want to come under here. We're heading towards Beverley, so if we come under the two sections there, go under, that bridge is quite offensive actually, isn't it? We'll go for a longer run up. That's more like what I'm after. And we'll join those two up. That's it. That's more like it. And then this guy can come round. Or just pull that slope out so it isn't as aggressive. And then this road here should just be able to... I don't want it to be a dead straight line through to Beverley, but I want it being fairly direct, I think. We just hook into the end. That doesn't quite look right, does it there? If we come round to there and then curve around, that looks a little bit more like it. And we may get away here with one truck stop in the middle of the town, which we do here. And that actually covers everything. So if we go to Town Medium Street and upgrade these roads, we can do a loop out and back on ourselves then. Okay, and we got the country road there, didn't we? Which we went with medium, which is 50-mile-an-hour limit. Now we're going to need a truck pickup point. We only need one side here. We're going to need a truck pickup point for the food here, which I wonder if we can get one on the main drag here. We can't actually, but just off it we can. So we'll turn in there, pick up the food and the construction materials themselves. Hoping we can get into this side of the bridge. We can. Then as in terms of a road depot, we can probably use this one over here. Yes. But then what we want is construction materials and food. So for construction materials, we go for capacity 30. I think if we go for 3 trucks, we go from starting up on Humber where we'll wait for a full load. And we want to drop those off in Beverley. That's saying it can't connect. Passenger loop. I bet you guys noticed that, didn't you? I put a bus stop down here instead of a truck stop. There we go. That will have fixed that line now. There we go. So that is going to be called RF for road freight. And that is Beverley on Matt. Okay, and then that leaves us then with food. Oh, that's the tram depot, not the road depot. So for food, we're going to have to go for these covered wagons this time. And I think we'll go 3 again. We need another new line, this time waiting for a full load at the food processing plant, but following an exact same route. And then we're going to go for RF again. No, let me rename it. And we're going to go for Beverly food. And I'm just going to change the colour of that, just so that it's a bit more obvious the differences. These trucks look pretty cool. If you look, I haven't used these much before, but with the open back for the logs and planks and combats, I really like the look of that. I really like the vehicles where you can see the cargo that's being transported. I don't know if that's the same with you guys or not, but I think it's much better when you can see what's going on. That guy needs 7 more food. We've got a guy coming soon with some grain. We have, but I'm gonna let him go on his way. He's only 7 things short of a full load. Gonna take his time to get up to speed. But he's on his way, and that'll enable us to make the first big deliveries into Ghoul. So in this episode, we've actually got both Ghoul and Beverly hooked up with everything they need. So we've now got food and construction materials in, and without even thinking about it really, guys, we've almost... What is that? Let me have a look at that. Truck. Oh, it's an even faster truck. I've never seen those ones before. And the dump truck. We might have to use that one at some point in the next episode. And we've got dual stocks. That's something I hadn't thought about either. Now, are they classed as a multiple unit dual stock? They are. So they go 124. So they're the same as the intercities, but the intercity hold 124 as well. These hold 198. That may be an upgrade for the next episode. So now we're definitely going to be receiving both of these. We've got consumers as Beverly of 4 there. The first ones are appearing. So we've got food going to Beverly. And we've got construction materials on the wagon going that way. And the train's already been filled up. He's on his way back. In Ghoul here now. We are receiving everything. So in Ghoul, we've got food and construction materials. Perfect. I can't believe how well that's turned out, actually. And these guys are going to be leaving shortly. He's got 1 food on board. I think we need to up the shipping. How are we looking here? Another one already on the way with grain, is there? He's on his way down. He's only going again with 98. Something's happening with that line. Why is that? Why does that keep changing from full load? Maybe you guys might have noticed. Did I do something wrong there the first time? Could have sworn I'd already set that to wait for a full load. But these guys are having to wait to be filled now, so it's that full capacity, so we actually need to get rid of one of these guys because they're starting to queue up. I don't mind one waiting while it's being filled, but what we don't want is a queue of empty ones here. See, that's just about right for me there. And we'll have to check up on the ships in between episodes. I'll keep a check just to make sure that it's working as intended. This train's on its way, it's already full again. How much have we got waiting at this station? 100 combat, 45 food. Are we about to drop some more food off? We are, if that gets to 80, which it hasn't. So we're not quite full there yet. But we are absolutely rocking here, guys. We're cooking with gas. This guy's only up to 4, so demand's not great in Beverly. I'm wondering whether that's just because we've got a bigger demand down here. Either way, guys, that's where I'm going to end this episode. We have managed to hook up another 2 towns with all of their demands in this episode. And I think now the only town that we have left, I will check in between episodes, is Market Waiting. So without even really thinking about it, we have completed the EPEC challenge. I mean, there is quite a few towns on this map, like Pocklington and Merton here, and Weldrake actually, 3 on one screen, that don't have any demands at all. So in York, we've got machines and goods being delivered. Selby's getting everything he wants, so is Gould now. North Ferriby isn't actually, so we do need to hook up North Ferriby. But they're the same demands as York, so I'm sure we could just send a train up the other direction. And that would cover us off for that. We could hook into this line here and head up to North Ferriby with a station here. So that'll be another one for the next episode. We'll look at hooking up North Ferriby and Market Weighton, and then that's everything hooked up on the map. So yeah, as always guys, thanks for joining me for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. As always, make sure you hit the like button for me. Drop me comments with any ideas for improvements or how we could connect up Market Weighton. It's the fuel that's getting me at the minute, really. I mean, we already have a grain farm here and the food production plant down by North Ferriby. We can get food without too many issues, but fuel I think is going to be an issue here. We might have to get some from up near Driffield here. I think that's probably the only option at the moment. Or all the way up through Selby, but that's a bit of a convoluted process. But yeah, let me know what you think in terms of fuel there, guys. As I've just said, North Ferriby should be pretty easy to hook up. That's just a train in the opposite direction. We're already producing. But yeah, as always guys, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you in the next video.